Hi there. I'm back, and there's no puking. My poor husband. We got home. I got myself a little bit of a snack here. I had a couple of hard-boiled eggs and a couple slices of pepper jack cheese and a few slices of summer sausage. I had 2 hash browns while we were in town. So this is the rest of my breakfast at 11:07. I took my pills. Now I'm going to kick out the rest of this kitchen chair cat hammock for my friend. Nice and quiet. I'm parked on my property now. As you can see, the pump house is behind me. And Babes is in bed. So I don't have to hear him puke anymore. And so you don't have to hear him puke anymore. Like I said previously, usually I'm listening to like a podcast or watching videos. Not so much watching them, but listening to them. I've got a bunch of YouTubers that I follow. Or I've got like a free TV app on my tablet, and I'll watch free Tubi TV, I think it is. And that keeps me entertained. But I'm not going to have that stuff on while I'm recording a video. Although I'm sure it's probably better to listen to than my husband barfing in the background. I'm sorry. And I know some of you are probably like, why would you post that? That's just gross. You should be so embarrassed. Why should I be embarrassed from his behavior? His behavior is on him. And secondly, this is real life, folks. If you want to see life glamorized and sugar coated and fakeness, then maybe go somewhere else, because you're not going to get that here. I'm just keeping it real. He doesn't drink very often anymore. And when he does, he almost always gets sick. I feel bad for him, because he spent so many years drinking so much and getting so messed up. And that's just, I'm glad that he's not living that lifestyle anymore, because that is not the lifestyle I want to be a part of, for sure. I'm just not really a drinker. I'll buy alcohol, and I'll buy something specific for something that I want to drink, and then I'll have like maybe 1 drink or 2 drinks, and then the bottle will just sit and sit and sit and sit until I decide I want it some more. And when you are living with someone who has an alcohol issue, that is never gonna happen. Like, alcohol does not sit at our house anymore, because my husband drinks it. So yeah, I'm not really much of a drinker. I've seen its negative effects. I've seen so many of my friends pass away from alcoholism, and I've seen a lot of people do stupid shit when they're intoxicated, and just be like, oh, I don't remember, making excuses for their behavior because they were drunk, and thinking that that was okay to do. And I'm the type of person that pushes accountability, not excuses. So, that's just me. If you're going to do something stupid, own it. Own it, you know? Don't sit there and be like, oh, well, I was intoxicated, because you can't make that excuse every single time. And there are people out there that try. And it's just kind of gross to me. I'm not out there trying to judge anybody. I know that everybody's got their vices, but literally, it's insanity to do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result every time. I wish I could turn this, flip the screen on this tablet so y'all could see what a beautiful day it is here today. Sunny blue sky. It's a little bit hazy, but not really too many clouds. And my nose is itching. And just mountains all around. So beautiful. Mega Snoot, is that you? It is you. Hi there. I love you. Oh, come on. Don't be that way. She's literally whining because she's outside of the truck and I'm in the truck. And she wants my attention. Dad's inside. Mom's in the truck. Nobody's paying attention to her. That's why she's sad. She really wants us to throw that ball. She says, I want to play, Mommy. Mom says, nope, it's not playtime. It's time for me to work. And after this, I get to go finish up my taxes, which is fun. Fun Monday. I drive to town every Monday. For those of you that haven't been following our videos, we are currently living off grid, and we are still working on getting our water set up. So we've got everything in place almost. It's just not running yet. We decided to wait until spring to build a pump house, so we're just getting that put up now. And Jared's hoping to have it running by the end of the month. We drive to town Monday, Wednesday, and Friday so that we can take showers. My son has been able to take showers at school on those particular days, which is great. So I don't have to worry about him stinking, because unfortunately he's a soon-to-be 15-year-old that really doesn't do well with personal hygiene. I'll just put it that way. Love him, but He's a stinky kid. Poor babes, I can hear him coughing from here. He's not my only stinky kid, though. Pearl, my girl's pretty stinky, too. You whining again, huh? Because I'm telling everybody you're stinky? Is that it? Where'd you go? Can't even see you. Turn on my cameras on the truck and then I can see her. No, that's not what I wanted. I don't even see her. That's kind of weird. I could hear her whining, but I couldn't see her. Poor little Pearl, my girl. What I need to do is tilt this just a little bit more so you can see my work, because apparently I'm not holding it up high enough. So we're about an hour and 40 minutes in, an hour and 50 minutes in to our project here. I think my first video was about an hour and 5 minutes long. My second video was probably about 45 minutes long. The first 5 minutes were me helping somebody plug in at the charger at Ford. So, and now we're about 10 minutes into this video, and I'm hoping that that will give you an idea of how long it takes for this project to be completed. It takes a few hours. It's not going to be the fastest thing to work up. If you want to do something that works up a little bit more quickly, I would suggest like a basic beanie or maybe some mittens or something. They take less time. And it's not because this is a difficult project. It's very easy. It's just time consuming. That's all. And connect this to the top of our chain 2. And let's see, what round are we on now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are on round 13. So 3 more rows, and then we can make the ties. This row is going to be 1 double crochet in each stitch across until you get to the corner. Then you make your corner. And in case you've forgotten, that is a double crochet followed by a double crochet followed by a treble crochet followed by 2 more double crochets. So 2 double crochets, a treble crochet, and a double crochet, and 2 more double crochets in the same stitch for your corner. I was telling my husband that I just heard on social media that Josh Duhamel is living off grid with his new wife in the Midwest, in the middle of the forest. And he's like 40 miles away from the closest town, which for us, we're only about 20 miles away from the closest town. Like Oravada is about 20 miles away. 20, no, Oravada is probably about 25 miles away. Winnemucca's 25 miles away. I think that Paradise Valley is about 20 miles. Paradise Valley is a very, very tiny town with about 150 people. So yeah, we are not really in a desolate area. We're just in a sparsely populated area. And it's nice and quiet. Like, we don't have a ton of traffic on our road. We do have cars here and there. And then we do have, like, farm equipment that'll come in, or trucks that are pulling trailers with cattle in them. And that's about it. So nowhere near the traffic that we had on the road that we lived in. The house we lived in Michigan. Nowhere near the amount of traffic from Marsh Road. And the traffic on our road that we live just off of, it's like maybe 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. So it's not people driving by at like 70 miles an hour. They're going slow, which is great. We like that. We live about 2 miles off a paved road. The road that we just live off of is completely dirt. It is maintained by the county, though, so it's nice and flat. They actually come out and treat it quite a bit, maintain it, so to speak. They seem to have They seem to be interested in working on it during the winter, which was kind of weird. They did a lot of work on it this past winter. We did not get very much snow. I want to say it maybe snowed from like 2 or 3 inches, maybe like 2 or 3 times the entire winter here on our property. So from essentially November up until April, which we're in the second week of April almost halfway through April. So I think we had measurable snow on our property maybe 2 or 3 times. And it would last for a couple days and then it would melt. Except for what was on the north side of the camper, because it was a shaded area. So we'd have a couple of inches of snow there that would take longer to melt because it was shaded. Like, that's what made us decide the door on the pump house needs to go on the north side. So it'll get enough sun that we're not constantly having to salt the entrance door and salt in front of the entrance door and all that. It'll be in the sun all the time. Unless it's cloudy out. Which is not a huge thing out here in Nevada. They don't have the cloud cover that Michigan has throughout the winter. I felt bad for my Michigan friends because, you know, they're talking about snow, and it's like we got into the single digits maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times this past winter, but it was always at night. It was frequently above freezing during the day. It is very dry out here. There's a very dry climate. And sometimes the mountains around us would get snow and we would just get a little bit of rain, like maybe a 1/4 inch of rain or something like that, or less, 1/100th of an inch of rain. Sometimes everybody was getting snow, but that was definitely less frequently. Most of the time, it's just the higher elevations that are getting the snow. Like above, like 8,000 feet. It was quite interesting to go out to Lake Tahoe for spring break, and have, you know, two of the days that we were out there be really nice, and then have a snowstorm hit and get dumped on like 12 inches of snow within a 24-hour period. Actually, I don't even think it was a 20-hour. I think it was more like a 12-hour period, because it was all pretty much overnight that we got. So maybe 12 to 15-hour period. Yeah, it was coming down pretty quick. And then experienced that all melting within like 2 days. It was crazy. Melting, and then, you know, coming back out of Tahoe, east of Tahoe, going through Carson City and Reno, and having there not be any snow on the ground at all. Ooh, my back's getting itchy. I don't have any way to scratch it. I don't know, maybe I can reach it. Yeah, not too bad. Also, my cold coffee. I wouldn't say that I'm the fastest crocheter, but I'm definitely not the slowest crocheter. Still hearing my babes coughing away. Poor guy. my girl, whining. Where are you, my girl? Why can't I see you on my screen? Pearl, my girl? Where are you at? There she is. She was sitting underneath the camper. Hi, my girl. Now I see you. Poor girl. Do you just want to go inside and hang out with Daddy? Oh, crybaby Pearl. Poor little crybaby. Poor little crybaby. She's like, I'm going to go back over here. Bye, Mom. Little jerk face won't even pay attention to me. Oops, wait a second. What row are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, something's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm on row 13. So I got 2 more rows. Rows or rounds, whatever you want to call it. Nice breeze coming through today. Nothing too strong. Truck says it's 80 degrees, but I don't think that's correct. Hey Google, what's the temperature outside right meow?
In Winnemucca, it's currently 56 degrees.
In Winnemucca, 56 degrees. I know it considers this Winnemucca, but this is not Winnemucca. We're about 26 miles outside of Winnemucca. Technically closer to Paradise Valley than Winnemucca. Poor little crybaby Pearl. What are you whining about? She's like, I want to go hang out with Daddy. Daddy's sick and doesn't want to hang out with you. Sorry. She'll just be sitting inside crying because she's not outside with Mom. Daddy's not feeling good. He wants to be by himself. I'm sorry. I hear ya. Crybaby Pearl. She's like, you closed the window on me, so I'm going to come over here and cry instead. Little white butterfly. It's a good thing I took my Zyrtec this morning. Man, my nose just won't stop running. Allergies, allergies. Springtime. So far, our free entertainment that we've been taking advantage of since I moved out here towards the end of last summer is the hot springs. When school is over for the year, which should be maybe a month and a half, I'm really interested in doing some camping. There's a few different places in the area that we can stay at for free. And I don't know if we would do like tent camping or if we would just tow the camper with us and just, you know, travel all over the place. It sounds like a great idea. I like the idea of spending my summer traveling. I'd like to go out to the ocean. I'd like to spend a bunch of time out in California this summer. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to go see. And I can't do that without money. So please go to my Etsy site, Gackland Ranch, GAKLAND Ranch, RANCH, and buy my merch. Cute crochet stuff. I promise you won't regret it. Take my person that I made with me so he can see what the rest of the country looks like. He spent his whole life in Michigan up until now. Well, I take that back. We took spring break trips to various states. But this is like, the first time that he's really been out west has been within the last couple years. Just like for me. We husband really wanted to work for Elon Musk. He had been talking about getting a job at one of his companies for the last 5 years that we lived together or were together in Michigan. And I want to say I met him in 2019. So it'll be 6 years this May since I met him. We were talking last night about he likes to make jokes about this guy that I dated that I can't stand. And I'm like, why would you make jokes about this guy? It was very traumatizing for me to be with this guy. Because, I tell my husband everything, and I had told him about a lot of the guys that I've been with and the bad relationships that I've been in. Okay, truck. Anyway, he likes to use the name Steve as a joke. And we were discussing last night about how the only thing good about Steve was that he told me about Reddit. And I met my husband on Reddit. And the funny thing is that him and I both lived in Michigan. He lived about 40 miles south of me, and I would have never met him if I had not gotten on Reddit. Like, we we started talking because we were both in a subreddit, and he was basically commenting on a post that I had made about how bad dating is. Um, and, especially when you're a single parent. And he chipped into the conversation mentioning about how he's a single dad and he lived in Michigan. So originally my first thought was, hey, if we get a chance to meet sometime, this will be a good, play date opportunity for my son. My son at the time was 9. And, I spent a lot of time when my son was younger trying to help him make friends because he's on the autism spectrum. He's pretty much convinced me that he's really not interested in hanging out with people. So I have stopped doing that since he's gotten a little bit older. He's almost 15 now. But yeah, it originally was not a romantic interest. It originally was just a conversation. And once I met him and realized what a great guy he was, and this is actually, my 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 trauma brain says, okay, I thought every guy that I dated was great in the beginning. My husband, he proved to me over time that his personality wasn't going to change. Like, he wasn't, he wasn't spending the first 3 months of our relationship love bombing me to the point where, 3 months later, I realize it's a toxic relationship that I need to get out of. Because his, complete persona has flip-flopped, like Steve. My husband allowed me to take things very slowly because I had to be cautious. It was a trauma response due to being in so many bad relationships. And not just that, but also having some of my friends and a lot of my family be totally uneducated on that, thinking that it was my fault that I was attracting all these terrible people to me. When in all actuality, narcissists and sociopaths have a tendency to target people that are single moms and women that aren't perfect, that have some imperfections, like maybe being overweight or having mental health issues. Those things make us targets for sociopaths. They can also be targets for pedophiles, especially single parents. And unfortunately, I met some okay people in Michigan, but I met some pretty terrible people in Michigan. And, a lot of those people disguise themselves as being good friends. Some of them disguise themselves as love interests. And by the time I realized that they were toxic as fuck, I was already living with them. Luckily, my husband is not toxic. He's a really good guy, and he makes me look like I'm the one who's toxic, which I wouldn't even say that I'm toxic. I would say that I have some issues that I'm still trying to work through as far as, my upbringing being really poor, and my um my my capacity to overlook things has put me in a bad place time and time again. And I apologized to my husband last night saying, we were just having a conversation. I feel like I'm potentially the one that will push him away. And, loyalty is important, really important to both of us. And, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm pushing him away, but I also don't want to be in a situation where I'm dating someone that treats me poorly or doesn't respect me. And that is not my husband. He was accused of being, what did she say it was? His ex-wife claimed that she divorced him because he belittled her constantly. And that, I really think that that is a lie. I think that is a lie to make him look bad, because he is not that type of person. He is very sensitive. He's way more sensitive than I am. I mean, if you've known me, um, I'm outgoing and I'm open. I'm 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 an open book. I have integrity. I'm honest. Now, I have not always been this way. I realized years ago that if I was going to attract the right guy, I needed to be the right type of person. So, you know, my family may not know what type of person I am because we have been there's a lot of distance between us, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. So they may not realize that I'm not the same person that I was 20 years ago. Um, but in the last 20 years, I've made a lot of changes um to my personality, and I don't like being lied to, so I'm honest to a fault. Um Whereas, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I didn't have any problem with lying to people or stealing from somebody just to, get a couple extra bucks. Um, Now I'm not like that. And, um, I've been called a lot of things, but a liar and a thief is not one of those things. Not over the last 20 years. And I think one of the biggest things that relationships need to have when you are in a long-term relationship over years and years and years is you got to have loyalty and you've got to have respect for your partner. And I don't think that his ex-wife had either one of those towards him. And I think that is the reason why they split. They didn't know how to continue to make their marriage work. She decided that she wanted to see other people. He was okay with it until he met somebody, and then she was no longer okay with it. And the crazy thing is like, he met somebody like right away, and they dated for like a year and got engaged. And he realized that he could not, like, she started having a lot of, I know this is going to sound bad, but she started having a lot of issues. Like, she was going through a lot of depression and anxiety, a lot of mental health issues. She wasn't able to maintain her home. She wasn't able to maintain like the 30 plus exotic animals that she had. And, like every time he would see her, he would be doing more and more and more for her, like cleaning her house, cleaning his house, because they had two separate houses. And he realized, this is way too much for me. I'm going to get in over my head if I marry this woman. Because whatever she had going on in her life at that point, she just fell apart and she was not able to really function. I'm not sure what it was. Obviously, I don't know her and I never got to hear this, her side of the story. But right after they broke up, my husband started seeing me. And right before we started getting serious, his ex-wife asked him if she could move into his basement. Now, when they divorced, he got the house because she couldn't afford to make payments on it. And she didn't have a good enough job to be able to afford the expenses with that house. And so he got the house in the divorce. She got everything inside the house. So she got all the belongings. And luckily, my husband, like I said, he's a respectable guy and he really values integrity. So he not only tried to break things off with that woman that he was engaged to as amicably as possible, but he also informed me that his ex-wife had asked him if she could move into his basement and rent his basement. Now, he had a full basement. It wasn't completely like finished. It was only partially finished. There was a bedroom down there with no closet, so I don't know if you can technically call it a bedroom, but there was no bathroom on that floor. And I had heard so many stories of toxic relationships where somebody starts dating this other person and their ex is still living in the house, but they're not together anymore. And that just seemed like a nightmare in my eyes. So I told him, no, if you and I are going to be dating, your ex-wife is not going to move into your house. That is not going to work for me. And immediately after that, she disliked me. I think what her plan was is she realized how shitty the dating market was after she split up with her husband and wanted to get back together with him once she realized that he had broke up with his fiance. And then I came into the picture and she has done nothing but slander my name. Lie about me in court. Lie to me or lie to her daughter about me to the point where her daughter can't stand me. Lied about the whole situation regarding us selling the house because she wanted to get back into the house when we told her that we were moving out of state and we were going to sell it. And she didn't like the price that we were offering to sell it to her for. And she got all pissy and got all of her family members involved. And one of her older family members thought it was okay to lash out at Jared over the internet because, he got rid of the family home, which doesn't make any sense to me at all because she literally had her own house. She was able to purchase a house after her divorce where she lived within a mile of us. And yet she wanted to sell her house and move in with him because she could not make ends meet when we first started dating. And my response to my husband was no. If she's having troubles making ends meet, she needs to sell her Jeep. Jeeps are expensive. She had a really nice Jeep that was constantly breaking down. And I said, look, if she can't make ends meet, she needs to go out and sell her Jeep. Selling her house that's got equity is really, and moving into somebody else's house, her ex-husband's house, that seems like the dumbest idea ever, unless her motive was to get back together with her husband. I don't see any other reason why she would do it. Like her house payment, I'm pretty sure was less than what we had on our house. Bigger house, nicer house, newer house. Um, Plus I think we had more acreage than she did. So yeah, she has not liked me since day one, and that's a big reason why we moved out of Michigan. Um, Part of it was because he was offered his dream job at Tesla, and another part of it was because our names were just being trashed by his ex-wife. She just would tell anybody that was willing to listen all kinds of lies about us. And the crazy thing is like she has a sister that divorced her husband and they got married again. They like renewed their vows and got remarried. So I think that in her brain she was like the competitive type of sister, which, I understand now that her family was dysfunctional as well. I don't think that siblings should be competing. I think that's garbage. I think that it should be loving each other and like cheering each other on. Unfortunately, my family was dysfunctional. So my family didn't know that kind of thing. It's getting better as we get older. I've got a younger sister that's super supportive. My older sister and my brother, they don't really talk to me. And, it's their loss if they don't want to be a part of my life. It's not mine, especially with the way that they treat me. Um, okay, this is the last row. We're going to do a double crochet in each stitch until we get to the corner, and then our corner is going to be different. Instead of doing the 2 doubles, the treble, and the 2 doubles, we're going to be doing in the same stitch 2 doubles, a chain 1, and 2 doubles. And that'll allow us a little bit of space there to put our hangers in. IT. Last row. Oh, come on. I think we're going this. Nope, we're going this way. I really hope. And reflecting on all that I just spoke about, I really hope that my stepdaughter gets into therapy. The 17-year-old that we left behind in Michigan. I really hope that she gets into therapy, because I think that she's really going to struggle with her life later on. And I know that she's probably really pissed off at her dad right now because of all the lies that her mother has told us, told everybody about us. And I think at some point she's really going to have an issue with her mom. It's really hard to see toxic people for who they are unless you live with them full time. Her parents split up when she was young. Let's see here. When I came into the picture, I think she was 11. So they might have divorced when she was like 8 or 9. I love to tell stories about what's happened in my life and the people that I've encountered. Um, I know that it can be triggering for some people, but I think that being transparent about the things that have gone on in your life and honest is a really good trait. And I think that sometimes speaking out about the traumatic things that you've been through can be kind of therapeutic in a way. And I also think that sometimes when other people hear stories of terrible things that have happened to others, um, it's like a learning experience for them. Like, here's some red flags that you should be aware of, or whatever. Like, before I met Steve, I didn't know love bombing even was a term. Like, I had no idea what that meant. I didn't have any clue that there was going to be a guy in my life that was going to pretend like he was in love with me for 3 months just to find a place to stay. Because that was Steve. And it was very clear that he did not love me through his actions. That was the biggest thing for me when I met my husband, is I didn't even have to tell him, hey, there's no way for you to prove to me that you are trustworthy besides just allowing time to pass. Because that is the absolute truth. Like, when you've been through somebody, when you've been you've been in a relationship with a narcissist or a sociopath, like, they are very convincing people. They're very charming. They are very kind. They go out of their way to do shit for you and make you feel good and make you have that attachment right away. Right away. So that way they can revert back to the person that they actually are once they know that you're loyal to them and treat you like garbage. I've been through that time after time after time after time. I would never, ever, ever be that way towards somebody. Never. And the thing that sickens me is, when I was dating that type of person and they were asking me, what kind of things do you look for in the guy that you like? Red flag. It was never a red flag before, but now let me tell you, it's a red flag, because it allows that person to alter their personality because they know exactly what it is that you are looking for. They know that you're looking for security. They know that you're looking for open attachment. They know that you're looking for loyalty. They know that you're looking for someone that's going to be attentive to your needs. And they think as long as they can push that persona, that they've got it made. But let me tell you, it doesn't last long because they cannot keep up with the facade. Sometimes I'm not so great at showing it, but another thing I said to my husband last night, I appreciate everything that you do, everything that you do for me and for my son. You know, it's not just the honesty. It's not just the respect. He's a hard worker. He's our main source of income. He's doing most of the building on the ranch here. He's a provider. And not in a degrading or sexist way at all. He and I had a conversation when we first met about how I'm not interested in being the primary breadwinner in the family. I'm just not, because I was forced to do that for years as a single parent, and it was stressful and it caused PTSD. It's very hard to be in a situation where you're forced to go to work every single day at a job that you hate just because you have no other choice. None. I don't want to ever be in that situation again. Ever. I don't want to ever be in a situation again where an employer takes advantage of me because I'm willing to work whatever hours that they are willing to give me with zero benefits just to have a job. No. I got to yakking and I forgot. I'm not doing that treble crochet in the corner anymore. A frog. Couple of stitches and fix it. Well, luckily I was thinking about it and didn't get too distracted. Now, this is the first series of mine that I've posted on YouTube, Crochet with Me. So if you're interested in this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up and follow my channel. I've got lots of stuff to talk about if you're interested in listening to it. I also do post on other social media. I post on Facebook. I've got a Etsy site, like I said previously. If you're just, if you're new to the channel, Gackland Ranch, GAKLAND is where you can purchase all my handmade items if you're interested in supporting the channel. We'll dabble on this YouTube channel. We'll dabble with a few different things. We'll dabble in crocheting. You can hear about my life. You can hear about, whatever my husband feels like sharing about his life, which he didn't really have the trauma that I dealt with. I know some of you are probably here for the tea. And then we'll also update you on our progress here at Gackland Ranch. We moved here from Michigan. I've been out here about 9 months. My husband's been out here about a year and 4 months. And we downgraded from a nearly 2,000 square foot home to, let's see here. There was 3 bedrooms on the first floor and a bedroom on the basement floor, plus a theater room, plus a bunch of storage, a huge kitchen, on almost 5 acres. So yeah, we had a really nice house. We downgraded to a 35-foot camper. We are living off grid, so we do not have water hookups quite yet. We're still working on getting the pump house up so we can have running water. And we are basically running our camper on something called an EcoFlow. Delta. And it's like a power bank, essentially. And really the only power that we use is small electronics, kitchen, like kitchen electronics. We've got a new wave oven that I was given by a friend a few years ago that we brought with us, which is great. It's big enough to cook a turkey, a full-size turkey in, but usually I just use it for baking whatever needs to go in the oven here because I don't really like hamper oven. It doesn't heat things evenly. We haul in our own water right now, and I can basically we're bringing in enough water for drinking and washing dishes essentially. It'll be really nice to be able to shower here, even though I do love my hot springs bath once a week. We're looking forward to building more in the future. We're looking forward to having a greenhouse. We're looking forward to adding more animals to our ranch. Chickens and rabbits for breeding for meat purposes. And really becoming more sustainable here so that we are not having to drive to town so frequently. And hopefully, like I said, by the end of the summer, we'll have water out here so we won't have to be driving to town to take showers. And that'll make it so much easier on the vehicle. My husband really wants this Powerwall 3. And he really, really wants to get it installed. But I keep giving him pushback because we do not have the cash for it right now. We're working on paying off the truck. And I would rather do that first. Rather get this truck paid off as quickly as possible. We did get a lower interest rate through Advia Credit Union back in Michigan. Thanks, Advia. They love me. So we were able to get finance for like, I think 7%. And we're able to tag on the couple of credit cards that we needed to pay off onto that as well. So, I'm trying to work on getting us out of debt. And he's talking about this $30,000 Powerwall. I'm like, no, 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 no. So, yeah, there's some differences of an opinion between me and my husband, but we're trying to navigate around that. If you have any questions about our lives or, the whole transition to living off grid, feel free to leave them in the comments. I look forward to answering any questions that you may have about our lifestyle out here and what our plans are out here. Oh, I forgot about my snack. My last little piece of cheese is getting all warm. Okay, so we've used 2 skeins of this, how many ounces is this? 2 ounces. So we've used 4 ounces of yarn so far. We're going to start our 3rd skein, and we're only going to use part of this. Maybe half of it. So maybe 5 ounces for this project. Because this is our last row, and then we just need to make the ties, and that's it. And those go quick. Almost coming up on this last corner here. Oops. Totally missed that one. Okay, last corner. So you got 2 doubles, chain 1, and your 2 doubles. See how you've got like a little space there now? That's how you hang your ties. That's how you hang it up. You run your ties through the little space there in each corner and you use them to hang it up on the chair legs. So, like I said, this one is for my friend. However, I did buy some additional yarn. So, I will have this particular color up on my Etsy shop once I have them listed for sale. I think it's called Lavender Meadow. However, it probably will not be listed as that on Etsy. They give you choices of very basic colors. Like on this, I would say probably the primary color on this is purple. There's more purple than any other color. Secondary color would be teal. And that's kind of how they go by. If it's a solid color, you name the color. Primary color. If it's got more than one color in it, you name the primary color and the secondary color. And I think you can list up to like 3 secondary colors or something like that. Alrighty. Stitch. And we'll join up the top of the chain 2. Slip stitch. Okay, so then Babe's left his glasses in here. Then what you do is you cut your yarn and you tie off. But I don't think I have any scissors in here. That's annoying. So I guess we will not cut and tie off just yet. I'm just going to set this aside and use this other spool of yarn that I have here in the same color to make the first tie. Oops. Okay, so the ties are 51 stitches. And I was remembering yesterday when I was making part 2, this actually has 3 stitches in it. This pattern has 3 stitches, not 2. You just don't get to the 3rd stitch until you get all the way to the end of the project when you're making the ties. So basically, this is going to be a chain 51. And then once you've chained that, for the second row, you're going to do a single crochet in the 2nd stitch and then all the way across, which will be 50 single crochets. And then you will tie or cut your string and then tie off. So we'll chain 51. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And you definitely want to count your stitches for this because you want all 4 of the ties to be the same length. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. So you're going to turn your work and you're going to do a single crochet in the back loop of your 2nd chain from the hook. And then you're going to do a single crochet in the back loop of every chain all the way across. So you'll have 50 single crochets in total. So we'll have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. If you know how to do a foundation row, you could probably do that instead, but I don't generally do that. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. Okay, so there's the first hanger. You're going to make 3 more of these. So like I said, you're going to chain 51, and then when you're done with your chain, you're going to go back and you're going to flip it, and then you're going to do in the back loops, the back loop only, there's only one back loop, second chain from the hook, a single crochet in each one all the way across until you hit number 50. And then you're going to actually cut your yarn and tie off. After you're done with that, you can weave in all your ends. You've maybe got like another 15 minutes of your project, and then you're done. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for crocheting along with me. I hope this last video wasn't super, super boring. At least it was probably better than the previous one, my poor husband. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. If you like what you have watched and would like to see more videos like this, me crochet along with free videos or free patterns, just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.